It's me. Well, hello. Hopefully you can hear me because I just realised I can't hear myself, which isn't a good thing. I turn the mic up and then I can hear myself. How are you? Thursday night, that's almost the weekend. Not quite. You've got one more day to get through and then you've got the weekend to do what you like. Play games, walk the dog, go and watch the latest Bond movie, which is something I probably will be doing. You never know. This is Housemates. It's people you know, having fun, talking about whatever they want to talk about, including games, just to keep you all happy. Before we go much further, let me bring on my neighbour from the north. Yes, he literally is about an 8-hour drive up the road, which is, if you live in the States, that's not very far, is it? So let's go and pull him down from 8 hours away. It's young Cloud Gaming Dan. And what a lovely finger you have too, my friend.
I know. I rang the doorbell twice just to make sure the batteries were working.
The postman always rings twice, I think.
That's what my wife says.
Or it maybe knocks. Hey, keep him, bro.
Yeah, not bad. A lot better than there was yesterday. But
yeah, you were a bit crook, as they say in Australia.
I'm getting old now. Rokk. I can't act it like I used to. But I think I was just a bit worn down. So, but yeah, I'm all good now after a really good sleep. So yeah,
burning the old candle at all ends, mate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You always burn your fingers. You see a little analogy there. You got to be careful. How's your week been, other than the sickness?
Do you know, it's been brilliant. Absolutely loving Far Cry 6. Gave it a first look.
Good. You enjoyed it. That's good.
Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday night I gave it a first look. Played it for about three and a half hours on stream. Loving it. Can't wait to dive back in next Sunday.
I think I'm up to about 44 hours now.
44 hours already?
Yeah, and I'm about 51% through.
I thought you were just talking about burning the candle at both ends.
I know. It's become a bit of an obsession. I'm literally, this is also my daytime office, and I've got two monitors here, and so literally I've got the game going on over here, and I've got my work stuff over here, and I'm like, no, we can sort that out. Yeah. Oh, look out, dog!
Guapo, watch out, Guapo.
No, I've moved on from Guapo, mate. I'm all but one Amigo unlocked, and my favorite one so far is this black puma, which I can't pronounce its name, Oluus or something, which is like a ghost cat. You have to do quite an extensive mission to unlock him. Going around, it's all very spooky, but then he comes in, or she actually, and she stealthily sneaks up on the enemies, and if you unlock all of her, there's like 3 perks for each Amigo, and you unlock the third one and she becomes immortal and she can't be killed, so you just send her out killing stuff indiscriminately.
You just back having a cigarette and
exactly. Yeah. Go for it, cat. It's all good. Listen, we have got some amazing people lined up out the front door there waiting to knock on the door. Should we get them all in?
Go on then.
Do you think I can press enough buttons to pull them in before the knock on the door graphic ends? Let's see. Oh, hang on. Almost. I did it. There we go. Hello, chaps. How are you?
I can tell you that's not my finger or my hand knocking on the door. Just letting you guys know that.
Great to see you guys. So we have got that side. We have got Ray 3/4. I don't know where your names have gone, guys, because you should have your. I mean, if I hide that,
you invited me, so I broke it.
And that silver tongue demon down there is of course Vet Cloud Gaming, who he lives here. He literally doesn't go anywhere from Tuesday through the week.
No, I rented this room at Rock's house.
That's all stolen stuff he stole, folks.
Rokk told me this was his second home, so I don't know what's going on.
Second home. Wow. Is that a fireplace or a CRT down there in the corner? Because if it's an old CRT monitor, that's definitely my place.
That's definitely the CRT. I was just getting back from finishing reading a lovely novel.
Yeah, exactly. Wuthering Heights, which was too high up up. And I got a bit wothered. and then over to your, well, like kind of directly below me, making his debut, I think, on a Rokk show. It's there's even more silver tongue than me. Squids, how are you, my friend? Squid, how are you? I think your mic is muted, but I'll pretend because he's got a lovely soft voice like this. And when you play, when I was a kid growing up, we had this show. I think I've told you this before, Ray, and Lee knows. It was a show called Finger Bobs, right?
I remember Finger Mouse.
Finger Mouse was the same thing, and it had the guy that did it was called Yoffie. No, he didn't look anything like Squid, but he sounds like him. He's got this lovely voice. It's like, and then Finger Mouse took a flight across the land. And that's why I love watching him play, because he sounds just like it. Now, while he's sorting out his dress, we'll move over that side, not making his debut, because Jack has been on Cloudburster, but he is, of course, the legend that is Jack to Slip. How are you, Jack?
I'm doing awesome. It's my lunchtime over here on the west coast of America.
So you're on the same coast. Break. It's Ray, is it your lunch break?
Yes, it is. But I'm having some Sonic tea.
Sonic tea? Was it made from a hedgehog or what? It's a bit spiky.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Squid.
We can.
Yay!
I don't know. My headset has not been working on the USB. I don't know why.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
If you can hear us and we can hear you, that's all we need to communicate. That's the evolutionary trick that nature has bestowed upon us. Jack, how have you been keeping, my friend? Jack, how have you been keeping?
I've been doing well, actually. I'm really happy to be on this show with Squid, because I feel like I'm super late to the party, but I just discovered some of like Squid's content, just earlier this month, and it's awesome. So Squid is like one of these guys I'd love to have a beer with, I think. So we can do a virtual toast.
I don't know about beer, but I think you wouldn't mind one of bit of that. Jack, here you go, mate. I'll have a smoke and He wouldn't mind. No comment. He's completely drained Holland, so that's what's it's great. Great to have you guys on the show. As you know, this is our general chit chat of the week. It's talk about anything you want. Let me just move me over here. So Ray doesn't like to be underneath the logos, and particularly this house, because if it drops a brick, then and Ray, it's lovely to see the bottom sort of third of you, my friend.
Well, thank you. I've actually moved my camera a certain angle.
It's a beautiful thing. I might just need to do the same. There you go. It's good to see you. So guys, what have you all been up to? Jack, have you been playing any Stadia this week?
I have, yeah. I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider earlier, maybe over the weekend, I think, and then I started playing Far Cry 6. I figured I haven't played any Far Cry game before, and so I figured I'm going to play them backwards. I'll start with 6 and then go to 5, then 4. It's
just a great game. I don't know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Aaron and I were saying that when you first started, it's a bit like Just Cause, but then it just expands into this vast universe with so much to do. It's crazy good.
It's like. It's almost impossible to stay on task with the main mission, because of everything else in that game that you can just run around and do whatever you want. That's the biggest problem I have with open world games. And that one in itself, there's so much to do.
It's another one that sat in my library that needs to be...
Me and Stadia Pro, William, we've been loving the Stream Connect. I mean, we played, I think, 3 hours. We do play dates, guys. Yes, play dates. He's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing at this time? And we match up our dates, and then we just hop on and play. We're on the microphone. I've already connected with 2 of the families in the game, so I got 2 groups of families. We're finding weapons. I've already upgraded
Does your
my
wife know?
bases. Speaking of my wife, I was blessed.
Take my wife. Go on, take her.
I was blessed last night. Hold on, shut up. I was blessed last night. I was very blessed because my wife has a toothache in the back of her mouth, so she hasn't been talking, which I can play.
Oh, you Ray, you do know this is in 1976, don't you?
I can enjoy
You're gonna stop playing that game. You've been playing for 3 hours.
And now she's like, she's like, can you go to the store and go get me some Orajel? Will it glue your mouth up some more? So
wow.
I've been blessed. She can't talk, and then I can just enjoy my game.
Aaron, I know why he's showing his top half now, mate. He's getting ready for his Tinder shot, isn't he? Look, he knows if he carries on like that with Mrs. Ray, it's going to be coming soon.
He's got a showcase for his other 2 families.
Yeah, no,
bless him.
Monteros, man, I hooked up with the Monteros. And then there's another. This game, guys, this is my game of the year. This is what I've been wanting: an open world, weapons, loot, a story, cars, flying. Ray is the main character in the. Shut up! I am not Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. That's coming back, isn't it?
My wife does complain that when I do my hand and I sit, when I come to work.
That's a little too much information.
Yeah, you said it.
Peter Griffin had 2 families, didn't he?
Yeah.
I freaking love this game so much. And with the Stadia features, with the Stream Connect, and I got somebody hit me up in my DMs. Hey, Cyborg, you don't know me, but what are you doing this week? I want to play Far Cry 6 with you.
See,
and
Tinder.
Said, you know what?
Tinder, told you.
Shut up.
Come on, let's play.
We can do the Stream Connect. So we have a play date for Friday. So we're gonna play.
So you have a play date with a stranger?
Yes,
didn't their bells ring in Stranger Danger? Didn't you learn that as
I'm home. What can I'm home playing my game. I'm not meeting somebody.
Meeting a public place, Ray. Meeting a public place.
I prefer playing on my own. Like the sound of one hand clapping, as Vet puts it. Yeah. Squid, have you played Far Cry 6 yet?
I have not. I got a huge backlog. If you guys know, I've been grinding through some games, but I'll get there. I'll get to it. I still have to get through like 3, 4, 5, all the other ones still. So
yeah, no, that's fair. It's difficult because there's that old fear of missing out, the FOMO thing, isn't it? When you've got everybody's talking about a game and you know that because you haven't bought it, you're not going to buy it just yet, or you've got a load of other games to play, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I want to be part of that. I want to be in there with them. I've been like that with New World because I played all the betas and even the alphas for New World and absolutely loved the game. But when it came out, I thought, I'm not going to buy it because it's another, like you just said, it's a massive open world game. And, I knew Far Cry was coming as well. So I thought, no, I'm going to leave it. And I'm hoping that it'll eventually have controller play anyway. So at that point, that's the time I probably want to get into it. But no, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I've got Ubisoft Plus, so it was there. It's there, and I still haven't finished Valhalla, and I haven't. I haven't finished Phoenix, and I haven't done any of the latest DLC for Watch Dogs Legions yet. So there's still so much stuff to do.
Oh yes.
And they keep adding games.
And that's my philosophy. Like, you're gonna get so many games, they're gonna eventually all go free. So just be patient, play your games, and boom.
Siege is stupid. No one likes Siege.
No. The person in that corner right there that just said that is stupid.
Yeah, but having said that, I maintain, and I've played Far Cry on PC, GeForce Now, and Stadia. And I still maintain it holds its own on Stadia. It looks amazing on Stadia, particularly when I play it. Funny enough, on my browser, on my 1444 monitor, it looks absolutely stunning. And I've had issues with the other two with not being able to save to the cloud and then them crashing and stuff, which I've not had with Stadia. Stadia's been rock solid for me. So I think it's I just think Ubisoft are going the extra mile. I haven't had the benefit of playing it on Luna. I know Ray, you've got Luna. Obviously we don't have it outside of the States, so I can't tell you if I like it or not.
I might hit that button and upload all the stuff to it and see how it plays on there. But man, Stadia Pro, just me and him been playing. And having fun. My favorite part is scanning cars. I love hey, scan this car, scan that car, scan helicopter.
Didn't know you could do that until you said it the other day. And now I'm photo scanning like a demon.
I scanned the Jaguar. So when you go to your base and you go to the phone and you just call up, you can pick up the car and stuff. Hell, I even got a armored bulletproof Hummer that they can shoot bullets at and they just ricochet off, man.
Is that just by pressing up on the D-pad or actually getting the?
You just tap on the
yeah. You just look at the car, but you've got to be a certain distance from it, Lee.
Right.
If you can't get it within the sort of central square, it tells you need to go back further, and you can't scan military vehicles or operational vehicles that are in a mission. But
then
other than
there's
that,
an overlay in the corner. It tells you when you actually scan it. You have a little green check. Yeah. So
I will say, don't go swimming in the ocean either. I made that mistake last night when I was playing it, and I jumped. That game caught me off guard because I know I jumped while I was still live streaming it, and because a shark just came out of the water and bit me in half, literally, it killed me.
Well, I watched William eaten by an alligator in Stream Connect. I saw his leg chopped on by an alligator, and with Stream Connect, you can actually watch that. And I'm like, oh my God, William, I'm coming. But he was eaten up, folks. It was too late. I got to watch that.
Gator. There was a gator, but I just started punching it, and I got away. But I could not. I think it shocked me that I got eaten by a shark, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do at first, so I froze, and then it was too late.
I jumped into a pool in the game yesterday, and there was a shark in there that got me.
Yeah.
What? A swimming pool?
Well, the swimming pool I jumped into had dead bodies, so.
I've only come across
by the roosters yet. I got attacked by 3 roosters. I actually uploaded that on TikTok. I just fought alligators, and then there's these roosters, and they're in the street, and they're like, "You're not passing by us." And then you just see their claws, and they show close-ups. The bird landed on my chest, and he's like, he's just pecking away at my face. I'm getting, now they're actually not roosters; they're actually cocks. So I had 3 of them smacking me in my face.
Well, that was gratuitous.
choice of words there.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I took a van out yesterday, not for a drive or even for a date, but blew it up, and this massive eagle flew down and got stuck in the doorway, and its wingspan was the size of the van, and I took loads of photos. I just tried to find one, but none of them have come out.
Eagle, because there's vultures.
It was massive.
How many
this
animals
thing
are in this game? What the heck?
Tons, and loads of fish, squid, loads of loads of squid fish.
They got jellyfish. They do have jellyfish. You gotta swim around, or you will get.
I give props to Ubisoft because they went all out with this one. After playing 6, I don't know if I could go back to any of the other ones. I think this one would. 5 I could probably do, but even then, it's like.
It's been designed for that eternal play that they need to do for this submod. So this is my ghost cat.
That's right. I heard about
that. Yeah.
No,
so I got a dog. I got a robot dog. I think it's a robot. I don't know.
Yeah, K900. But this thing, Vet, you have to do a mission, which is actually quite hard. It's like 3. You have to find 3 kind of spiritual token icons, like little carvings, and they're all, one of them's in a spooky mansion. It's like Halloween, and there's all spooky music and cobwebs and stuff. It takes ages to do it.
And by the way, great, it took me away for a little bit. Can't see me.
What? Where's this? Sorry, Lee.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Look at that. Yeah. There he is. We put Vet out on his own. We put him out there. But yeah. But that thing there, Mist of Aku, which is its final perk, basically he becomes invincible. So you just send him after all the enemies. But when he takes out, when you send him to kill someone, there's like a puff of red smoke and they just disappear. They go, ah! It's amazing.
Wow. Ubisoft took Wildlands, they took Breakpoint, they took the Far Cry. It's like they took the combination of these games and kind of in a set and just put it together and just made one hell of a game.
Yeah.
Just a massive game.
No, I agree.
Anthony in the chat wants a play date with Ray next.
You're right. Look, just I want to play date with Ray next. Not a problem.
I bet Anthony would tire you out. I bet he'd tire you out.
That's what I thought as well, Jack.
This is his game. He will have fun. I guarantee it. Play date, sir.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's a shortage of. I don't know, Lee, if you picked this up on the news earlier, but the biggest selling newspaper in the UK has told everybody to go out now, today, and buy all their Christmas presents. And they've specifically said Paw Patrol toys and Barbie dolls because they're not going to be around at Christmas because of the shortages and stuff.
I'm good on that.
Same thing on the news yesterday.
I'm guessing it's a similar thing because it's basically anything that's coming out of China. They just can't. I heard they've actually started to close factories down in China because they've run out of coal to power these factories. It's
well, the LA port, the Los Angeles ports are like over flooded and they need help. So they actually got people from the Oakland ports are actually going down there to help them out. And so, I mean, and if you guys ever seen, there's these big cargo ships with these containers. They haven't, somebody's got to take them out and somebody's got to distribute them somewhere. And so the manpower they don't have, and then the space, I mean, it's just, they're backed up.
Yeah. Jack, you're West Coast. Are you near any of these affected areas?
Well, I guess I'm in Oakland, which is near the Oakland port that Ray was talking about.
There you go.
There you
go. Yeah.
Because where the Warriors used to play.
Because your day job is essentially you're into all the really fringe tech stuff around computers, aren't you? It's all the stuff that we'll go, what? What did you say?
I guess I work in the field that's called high performance computing, which is basically a fancier word for like what people often referred to as supercomputers or supercomputing.
Have you personally been responsible for inventing something that we won't even see yet in the real world because it's just so new and amazing?
Well, I used to at one point in time I was like a physics grad student, and we would study I was studying kind of material properties. Things that we were working on were like designing materials for like better photovoltaics or like better cheaper solar cells. Wow. One of the goals there is to kind of design solar cells that can sort of that are so cheap that you can kind of just like paint them on your walls or like paint your roof with the kind of these materials, and then it would just
would be, that would solve the old Chinese coal problem, wouldn't it? Just send them a bunch of brushes and a couple of tins of paint. There you go, fella.
I didn't get to do any of that fun stuff. The only thing I did, like work-wise, when I was like the military, was just get to shoot guns.
Well, it's kind of the opposite to what Jack was doing, mate. To be honest,
I kind of helped. I cleared up stuff,
You guys know history was made yesterday. The oldest male to fly in outer space.
No. He's 60 years old. What are you talking about?
He's 90 years
90.
old.
Yeah.
90.
Oh, his photos.
Space.
You know, he was brought to tears, man. He was telling
Yeah.
about the experience when
Absolutely.
he left the blue and he hit the black, and then he left the black and he hit the blue, and you know, you had
That's
that
just
building.
from the town.
Bezos was hugging him and he was crying. I mean,
Oh, it's moving there, isn't
I'd
it?
probably get emotional too, man.
Yeah.
I just want to know who does it. Where does he go to keep looking like he's 60 years old?
Oh,
I need. We all need that.
That's Wally's Wig Shop at 19 Boulevard Avenue, 5th and 7th. didn't they send Leonard Nimoy up in a box? Didn't they sort of literally fire him up and he's floating about in space somewhere?
Some ashes.
He's on his way to planet Vulcan.
Yes. Just drop him in a volcano. No, I'm sure it was Nimoy, or certainly one of these guys. His dying wish was to just be sent up with the space station.
The guy who wrote the screenplay, who wrote Star Trek, the one who's in
Yes.
space.
Oh, crikey, Jack! What was his name? Come on,
Somebody.
You're the brains. It was.
I know it. Damn it.
It
I'm
was.
not great
Come
on
on,
pop culture though.
come on, Aaron! Come on, Aaron!
Jackson in Star
I can
Wars,
see it. It's
man.
coming up
He's
out of
not
his
in
eyes.
Star Trek.
Come on, Aaron! It's.
Just throwing names out.
It's Anyway, him. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. Because his wife was the nurse in the original series, wasn't she? And she died a little while ago. But I'm fairly certain. Oh, crikey! It'll come to us.
Bradbury, something Berry.
Gene Roddenberry.
What? Gene Roddenberry. He's right. You got it. Yeah.
There we
you
go.
got
See, this is how we play games. We just start throwing random names, and then I'll think of it.
Yeah. Or what I didn't do was the old.
Well, I was going to say, since Ray was talking about things going on over on the West Coast, the only thing we've got here in the Midwest, or at least in the few towns that I'm surrounded by, we've got like this outbreak of RSV, which is a nasty respiratory.
That's a four-wheel truck, isn't it? Isn't that what you take your kids to school in?
That's what's keeping my kid home from school. So
what's RSV then?
It's a respiratory virus is all. I don't know the whole term, but it can put kids in the hospital. It usually affects the younger kids. My other son had it when he was 18 months old, and he was actually in the hospital for 2 weeks with it. But they actually shut down one of the schools because so many kids were getting sick with it. And one of the doctors that I talked to when I took my son to the doctor said that it's because everything was quarantined last year and shut down, that the kids just lost the immunity. Their immune systems weren't able to handle the outbreak this year.
Seen it a lot in the primary schools here in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, my daughters are at university, both of them at university, and it's just, as you can imagine, they're out every night down the local clubs. Oh, I love you more. Next day, it's
Well, we got tonight. We got the World Series, one of the World Series. Trying to get to the World Series. The San Francisco Giants are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. So every bar
Dodgers
in San Francisco, it's just gonna be crazy. Tonight at the bar.
Well, they had an NFL game in London over the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, had the
They're
Jets.
actually next year they're going to have one in Germany. I don't know. There's 3 cities they've narrowed it down to for next season, but one of them will be. I don't know the names of which 3. They didn't release it, but
if they get to put one on in Amsterdam, let Squid know so he can get his order in quick.
You got a girl. Hold on to me.
Last week they had the Atlanta Falcons
right when the
versus
harvest
New
hits,
York
we'll be
Jets
ready.
was in London.
Sorry, Ray.
You had the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. They played in London.
Was it? Is it just like a performance or a friendly thing? Yeah. It was not part of any cup or tournament or anything.
No, it was an actual game that's important to them, but they just said,
Okay.
hey, we're going to play it in London. But they're going to do
we're
other
just
dates.
sending the NFL to take over Europe. That's pretty much what it is.
They-
It's just America coming over to Europe to take it over with the NFL.
Well, they did this years. I mean,
Never
they,
happened.
about 30 years ago, I went to see one in London when they were trying and kick it off, trying to increase the audience as such. And they gave us these great big foam hands to wave. So, yee. But I love the idea of the game, but I to this day, I still can't, I don't get the rules.
I get the rules. It's the plays that I understand the offense rules. It's the defense I struggle with.
The defense, the only thing you worry about is get the ball.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's how I took it when I played.
Or
When I
you
played
take
Madden,
out the
that's-
you take out the quarterback.
Yeah, when I'm playing
It's necessary.
when I'm playing offense and I play Madden, all the arrows kind of make sense. But when I'm playing defense, I think, oh my god, I get completely lost.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
The other one I follow is shut up. Is hockey.
All right.
You're talking to me then. I don't
Say
understand the rules.
anything. Sorry.
Oh, mate.
The only other one I follow
Well, what about rugby? Shut up.
Kidding.
Shut up.
I'm always kidding.
Rugby. Aha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I tried to go out and play football, I was too short. So then I played soccer, and then when they noticed me in soccer, I was fast. They came after me and they wanted me to play like a tight end or something or a receiver, but my parents didn't want me to play because I would get tackled, man, and somebody hurt you, you know. I said, well, somebody can. I mean, I've been hit in the face with spikes playing soccer. Somebody slid into me in my shin.
I
You
broke my
know?
wrist playing soccer.
Yeah.
Did you?
In goal, yeah. I went
Yeah.
slid in for the ball off the attacker, and he went to jump over me because I got the ball, but he didn't jump over me and landed straight on my right.
Wow. I fell asleep during
Oh.
cricket. Does that count?
Everybody falls asleep watching cricket.
No, I fell asleep playing cricket.
Oh, playing cricket.
I actually when I
And
played
next we have
soccer,
Rokk.
when I played soccer, I actually won a game for my team. It was right before the cutoff time, and the guy crossed the ball. I wasn't looking, and it bounced off my face. My nose was bleeding. The ball went in the goal, and I fell on the floor. And everybody's like, "Ray!" And I'm like, I'm knocked out, and they don't know that I was not. The ball hit me so hard in my nose. I was knocked out and I'm bleeding, and they're like, "Woo, Ray!" And I'm like,
Straight.
I'm intrigued how you fell asleep playing cricket.
I shall tell you the story, Lee, as clearly. So I was at school, and it was at a time when probably not even around anymore, but there was CB radio, which obviously a precursor to the internet in a sense. So me and my mate Mike, otherwise known as Green Fingers, and myself, otherwise known as Polar Bear, we were on the old CB radio till like 4 a.m, and we were at school. We were very tired, so we were playing cricket. And they said, "Well, you're going to go, out on the furthest field and defend, catch the ball or whatever you did in cricket." And I thought, it was a lovely sunny day. I thought, it's catching up with me, that CB. I'm starting to feel a bit tired. So I just thought I'd sit down. And then the next thing, I woke up and there was nobody around. And the teacher came up to me. He's all right, Stone, come on, up to the headmaster. I'm like, I'm just tired, sir. So I went in to see the headmaster. And they were in fits of laughter. And he said, if we weren't laughing, you'd have had the stick. Now get out. So I was like, that's a true story of how Rokk fell asleep playing cricket. One day I'll tell you how I fell asleep playing UFC, but that's a whole other question.
I think I would like to go to a cricket match at some point. It seems like a fun way to take a picnic basket and a blanket.
I could see you enjoying
and just relax.
Jack, I could see you as an Anglophile, mate. I could see you, taking up the old English picnics and cucumber sandwiches and playing a game of cricket
when you play cricket, I went to Old Trafford. I think it's England versus India, and obviously you're drinking beer, and you get plastic pint glasses. So what they do when you finish them, everybody collects them, and you start what's called building the beer snake around the ground. So you're all collecting, and you get longer and longer and longer. I think we had this one day, it must have been about 150 feet long. And everyone's just going, build the snake, build the snake. It's going all the way around Old Trafford.
Ray gets that on a Friday night.
That reminds me. So we have this other one called here. It's called the wizard stick. When you're drinking, every time you stagger, and you duct tape each can of beer.
Wow.
And so at the end of the night, you might have 2 sticks. But
What? So you go you go to a pub with a stock of.
Oh
of
no,
duct
this is
tape.
like at a dorm or at like
You
your
know,
house.
they wouldn't let me
This is
in.
a
I
college
would.
game.
Oh right. I've got my balaclava and my duct tape. Can I come in? It's,
They would not let you in.
yeah. So what did you do? You get all the glasses and you stick
so you
stick them together with duct tape.
Around.
But then the beer's not coming through the one that's underneath it, is it? How does that
Right.
work?
So you finish the beer,
Right.
and then you use that to make your stick.
And that's called a wizard stick.
Yeah.
I love that. That's got. See, you've got all this. all this stuff that we see on TV about American colleges with the fraternities and all that stuff. Is that real or is that just Hollywood? Does that actually happen?
Yeah, it's all real.
There's a lot of stuff.
Jack's keeping quiet. Look at him. Like, I'm saying nothing.
I went to a party. They put a funnel in my mouth, and they had a long tube.
I really
They put the tube down the funnel.
It's a reverse enema.
Exactly. Man, I never chugged so much beer, and it's chug. And I that was probably one of the most sickest nights. And I just said,
It was a wizard. It was a wizard stick.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. Wow. I did.
Had my eyebrow shaved off.
Did you?
Yeah. I fell
They've not grown back either.
No. I'm trying to find a picture of this bear snake when we went to the cricket. But I can't.
I think I told you, Lee, about when I actually did have an enema, a forced enema. I didn't go with the intention of having an enema, but it was when we went to a water park. And we did. Well, I took the kids to a water park, and I was coming down the big water slide, and you're supposed to keep your legs together, and I didn't. And I literally felt the entry point. And when I got off of there, I thought, oh, I ain't doing that again. No, that's cleaned me right out, that has.
It's just one of those big vertical ones.
Yeah, you know those things. Yeah, you're hitting the water at like 400 miles an hour. Yeah. It was coming out of my ears, mate. It was... what is that? Is that a reenactment of my enema?
You know, my wife doesn't know I have this. So when she sits down and she reclines the chair, I always go. And I'm like, excuse you. What? That wasn't me. She does not know. Yeah, it's my part.
I was back there then, mate. I was there in, I can't even remember where it was, Tenerife, I think. Oh, that hurt. And it was hot.
You got to tell me what water park this is, because I don't think I want to go in the water there.
No.
Yeah, I won't. I wouldn't. It's when you get down the bottom and there's Band-Aids and half of people's stuff down there. You think, oh.
Mine was Florida, I think. Wet and Wild, it was called.
Yeah.
Not there anymore.
Oh, man.
Is it not there?
No, it's a Universal water park now.
We have Six Flags.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
been there, yeah.
Been there, okay. They had you ever bungee jumped?
Nope.
No, not on purpose.
Never,
I don't do that
ever,
amusement parks anymore.
It is the most scariest thing I've ever done.
How high up were you when you jumped?
People look like ants at the park.
I didn't get the 2 times that I jumped. I didn't see people. I just saw clouds and squares.
Hang on, that ain't no bungee jump, mate.
That's a leap of faith.
Did you ever see that guy that jumped literally from space and then landed on Earth? Did you ever see that guy that did that? That was unbelievable. And literally took him up into space.
Was it Tony Hawk?
I don't think he was on a skateboard. No, this was a guy that he literally free-falled for miles, and then he landed in Arizona or something.
Don't you
by
have somebody in
choice.
London that climbs buildings in
He's my
London
next
or
door neighbor.
England?
No.
He climbs skyscrapers or something out there.
Yeah, his name's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
there was a movement a little while back where it was Dads for Justice, Lee, I think they're
Yeah,
called.
something along those lines. I can't find that sodding picture. Balls to it. Yes, it was something like that. Yeah.
And they were basically and it's still the case, and I think it's the case in the States where, if you're in a divorce, the court tends to favor the woman more for various reasons. I'm not here to argue the case either way, but they set up a movement, Dads for Justice, where they weren't getting to see their kids, and they decided a good way to promote this would be to climb up the Houses of Parliament in a Spider-Man suit or block of flats or something. Hey, got a few laughs. That certainly,
my God.
that definitely happened. Yeah, no, 100% happened. But
I think that group's still going, isn't it? That was a while ago.
yeah, it's still going. It's now. I think if you go there, they've got a forum where you I think you have to pay, which is about £30 a year or something. But then you've got free legal advice and free counselling, and obviously you get access to all their materials and stuff. And to be fair, for a lot of people, it's obviously really handy to have. But yeah, no, it's all good. I was going to ask Jack a really important question, and the Spider-Man climbing up the House of Parliament's completely put me off my stroke. So it's, yeah. I can't remember what were we talking about, beer and stuff. I wouldn't put you through that, Jack. You're a clean living guy. I know you'd never get up to anything. Squid, remind us all where the name comes from.
Oh,
No, just
I don't know. So, like, name Squid, so just because the squid and then the Z's are all kind of different, but squid just kind of like, it's like, I look at it as, because I do a lot of different things, and I play a lot of different games and a lot of different platforms, a lot of different languages. And so squids, they have like 8 arms, right? So, I mean, I do like 8, 7 things.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
So you have
like,
you have an overactive X chromosome, basically, because I've only known women to be able to multitask.
I can't multitask to save my life.
Oh yeah.
That's a
So I just like learning like a couple of programming languages.
Nice.
Like game wise, you got the Stadia, Luna, Xbox, Switch, DS, PC.
Yeah.
So
So
like all those things.
what languages are you or have you learned, or are you learning them?
I know. So probably in the order it'd be like English, German, and then Japanese.
Oh, the actual
Japanese a little
languages,
bit, and
not
then-
programming
Yeah.
languages. Actual people
programming
languages.
too. Yeah, programming
Wow.
languages too.
It's true.
So,
Multi-talented. So you speak German, English,
Yeah.
obviously. What was the other one that you mentioned? Dutch,
then
because
some
you got to go. If you go to
Japanese.
Amsterdam, you got to be able to speak a bit of Dutch, haven't you?
It's fairly similar to German, I think. So
I love German. I love German. And the thing about the German language is, whenever I'm one of my guys, one of my staff's German, and when German people speak German, it sounds like they're speaking English, but with long words, which I love.
Oh yeah,
but
it's just a
when they
long-
speak
long
English,
language.
they completely sound foreign. So it's, I don't.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because Ray, you lived in a ton of different places, didn't you? Because your dad being in the military and stuff, you lived in Cuba. I think you lived in Germany, didn't you, for a bit?
My dad had to go to Germany, had to go to France and stuff. But Guam, Cuba, what else? New York, Maryland, Jacksonville, Florida,
Wow.
Fort Bragg.
I've been to
Boston.
Birminguam. Is that the same place?
Guam it's just a dot on the globe, but the food and the people is amazing. It's great.
What's your favorite place? Where's the favorite place you lived?
Favorite place I lived? Have to say California, because that's where I met my wonderful wife. And,
Oh, I see he's backpedaling now, Aaron. In the end, with his fart machine and his
Bay Area.
say those are being quiet now. It's I love California. We used to go to Germany. We got California.
But I have to say,
My wife's in Cali, so that's the best place in the world.
Guam was great. I went to a
What is
private
wrong with
school.
you?
What?
I said, "What is?" I would have chose Germany.
Is not called a what the hell? Yeah.
Aaron, you must have been to a few places in your military career.
Yeah, well, I mean, two, and they weren't very. I got to go to two places, and neither one of them were real sightseers.
Oh, dear.
A lot of desert, a lot of dirt. That's about all I got to see.
Oh, well, you could have built sandcastles.
Yeah. I have family in Germany. I mean, my family is from Germany. I've got family in Germany, Italy, because we did my family tree stuff when when I was in school, and my sister did this. We traced all of our stuff, and it's literally 5 countries. It was Germany, Italy, Greece. Well, it might have been more. Romania, and that was just gypsies running all over the place, and then and Ireland. So it's just got angry. It fit when we were looking at this. It's like, well, that answers why I like to drink and I like to argue and fight. It's a family. No kid, and yet my choice of my occupational choice was let's choose the military.
There's a show in the UK called I think Lee, is it called Who Do You Think You Are or something like yeah. And did you watch the one this week with Josh Widdicombe?
I don't watch terrestrial TV.
Well, I only watched it on iPlayer, mate. I mean,
I don't watch TV. I just watch
other services are available.
Netflix,
you just
watch
YouTube. To be fair, he's always streaming, isn't he? He hasn't got any.
I'm not always.
You're always streaming. There's a UK comedian called Josh Widdicombe, and he comes from a village called Widdicombe, which is literally 25 minutes from where I live, and it's out in the sticks, lovely, in the middle of Dartmoor, which is famous for the Hound of the Baskervilles and Sherlock Holmes, and they do this show, Aaron, which I think you'd really find interesting, where they do that whole family tree on celebrities and see what's in their background. So they've done loads and there's an American version as well of the show.
Yeah, I've seen the American version. It's actually pretty interesting.
It's really interesting. Yeah, same kind of show. So this guy, Josh, who's come from this crappy little village, 25 minutes, literally in his year at school, there were 4 kids, right? And the bus came to the village once a week. That's how remote we're talking. So he's going into this thinking, probably fine. My great-grandfather owned a couple of horses or, a pig or something. By the time they'd finished, it turned out that his auntie times 13 was Anne Boleyn, who was Henry VIII's wife's sister, that if he went right back, his great-great-grandfather was King Edward, and then further on, his great-great-great-grandfather was King Philip of France. And he was like, well, that was a bit of a surprise.
If they did that with me, they go that far back, they mostly find out I owe a country millions and millions of dollars. That's my luck, that would be.
They go back about 3 years and find half my relatives in a cave, mate. They wouldn't have to go back too far. In fact, I go back that far that I even remember them living in a cave. That's how old I am.
I just saw on the news that they found an old Egyptian winery. They had the bottles in there. I mean, you're talking like
still corked, drinkable.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't drink it.
They had to do a taste test to see if they were still, how old they were.
Blue nose. I know that honey. I know that honey lasts forever. I don't understand why. It's to do with the sugars, but they've certainly been able to eat honey that's been stored for hundreds of, if not thousands of years. And of course, some alcohol, because alcohol is going to kill the germs in it, isn't it? So, it's probably, as long as the alcohol remains.
Scotch and whiskey bottles that are like, a couple hundred years old,
Wow.
I mean, they were advanced, man, with the pyramids and.
Yeah. We had my grandpa when he passed away gave us his grandkids, so I got a couple bottles of really old whiskey and some other alcoholic beverages that were from the 1800s that had been in the family.
He was only 7 at the time. That's the problem.
You have this one you told your kids.
The liquid that was inside them did not last very long.
Right.
It's in my late teens, so I was in the party phase. So I just saw free booze, so I popped the cork and went and partied.
Thanks, Grandpa. That was never an episode of the Waltons, was it? Let's be honest.
No, my mom did not allow me to go visit my grandpa that much because of the things that I learned to say because of hanging around him. We're not correct at any time, so and I can't
Wow.
repeat them now. When you're like 7 years old and you go to school and you're talking about taking a bayonet and jamming it in, and using inappropriate for the Japanese, but you use different terms.
See where it comes from, Ray?
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
you can see it there, mate. We're not talking nature here. We're talking nurture, mate. Full on nurture.
I learned so much from him.
Yeah. How to gut a cat.
To go to cat.
Nah, my grandfather, we had because I'm originally from North Carolina, he had a pig farm. And I remember just a baby pig, and I really was attached to the pig. And then I saw what he ended up doing to the pig, man. When it got big, he's like, Ray, come here. Come on over here. Remember that little baby pig? I said, yeah, look at it now. And it was split open.
Bacon.
I saw somebody, dash some barbecue sauce.
Wow.
And they was pulling meat off it. Here. And I was just shaking. I was like scared, but that's what we did in North Carolina. Barbecue. They slice a pig, open it up, barbecue it, throw tons of barbecue sauce on it.
Yeah, well, you got to know where it's coming from somewhere, isn't it?
He was barbecuing pigs the other night on Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
when I'm playing Far Cry 6, and I lived in Cuba for about 2.5 years. The coconuts and the trees and the pigs. I mean, guys, wild pigs, they charge. I've been knocked down by a wild pig.
Wow.
They're fast, they're mean. All those animals.
They've Cuba, for all of its the fact that for many years, obviously, it was locked. The America ensured that nothing came out and nothing went in, but they had free healthcare. They had all the municipals. They were all working really, really well. They learned how to rebuild the cars, so nothing was scrapped. All those old 1950s cars were kept serviced forever. I mean, it was an interesting place. It must have been quite fascinating to spend some time there, Ray.
Yeah, because we would go off the base and we would go and you ever had a Cuban sandwich?
Excuse me? Does that involve a wizard?
We're going back to the wizard.
There's a
sandwich, yes.
Alameda, California. There's a Cuban restaurant.
You better hope your wife is not watching this show.
It's a sandwich, you pervs.
You went like that.
It's like a Mexican torta.
What's in the Cuban? What is it like, chorizo and
it's all kind of. It's just a massive of meat and spices and stuff, and it's just amazing. Also, they eating. Somebody tried to get me to eat an iguana. They got lizards. Yeah, they got iguanas.
I hope it was dead.
Vet had alligator.
What's wrong with that?
He didn't know what he was eating, mate.
I did that.
He didn't.
That's a family tradition.
Yeah.
My brother ate zebra. I mean, so he's had zebra before. He was over in Africa on vacation. So that's a delicatessen over there.
Yeah. No, they don't. Bushmeat.
You learned it. And when you're in the military, you learn to eat you learn to survive. So you got to just eat what you can get.
Yeah, KFC, McDonald's, whatever you can get your hands on.
Yeah, I mean, I just went down to the
times are tough in the military.
It's better than the army rations, man. My dad.
Oh my God, those things are disgusting.
My dad was Navy. He had one brother that was Air Force. His other brother was Marines. Everybody was like, it was just the weirdest thing. Hey, man, I'm gonna go in the Navy. I'm gonna go in the Air Force. I'm gonna go in here. And so I had all these uncles, and I remember my uncle had, hey Ray, you ever had army rations? And I'm like,
those
no,
things are
try
horrid.
this. Oh my God, I threw up, man.
Is it like dry biscuits and stuff like that?
It's like wet spam in a like ham in a can. It's
dry.
It's like
nice if you.
damn it, America. Our military is trillions of dollars. What the hell we speeding our boys
Because we spend all of it on the weapons and all the other stuff, and then we've run out of funds by the time it comes down to the meals.
Aaron, I've been to an American base. They literally have a McDonald's, a KFC. You go to a British one, it's like, got any food? No.
You see our generals and stuff, and they're not the drill sergeant stature, flat, and everything. They're they eat well. After you get out of basic training, you get out of AIT, at least with the Army, then they don't care anymore. As long as you can still do your job and you can somewhat run, they don't care.
Somewhat run.
I'm sorry. I know some people that are still in that would not make it in boot camp today if they were that way. If they looked that way.
Actually, serious question. Do they like have their own internet, like through a satellite link to the base? Because obviously it's got to be relatively secure. And then on that basis, if I was serving at a base and I had the military internet coming through the satellite dish, can I do cloud gaming in there? Can I use Stadia in the base?
Well, probably. I mean, there were people. I knew some guys that hooked up computers and things in Iraq to play like old school games. They were doing the LAN parties back in the day, and this was back in '04. I mean, you find ways to do stuff.
I mean, yeah, I'm certainly aware that they can play on their PlayStations or Xboxes or stuff.
Yeah, you have there is internet. I mean, it's separate. It's not like, oh, let me just call the cable company and get it hooked up.
AT&T. Yeah, I'm just outside of Baghdad. Could you send a fella down with a cable?
So when my dad was stationed in Guam, we had one channel that was in English. But you got all the news and all the shows were like 2 weeks old by the time it came to Guam. And it was like, I mean, that was back in the 80s. I hope they change with technology and everything now. But back then,
but now it's streaming, Ray. It wouldn't have been streaming then, so they would have had to send tapes over, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Ray was out there, with his 2-week-old boombox and rocking them cassette tapes.
I actually did. I actually did have my boombox. Yep.
Hey, I could see Ray cutting. Actually, I have seen pictures of young Ray. He was a dashing fellow. He literally looked like Alexander O'Neill. Or some of them other pop stars of the 80s.
Oh, I love me some Alexander. Alexander O'Neill was huge in England.
Yeah,
he actually did some television shows.
I saw him live. I went to see him in concert. Yeah, I tell you, the one guy that I didn't get to see that I really wish I had seen was Luther Vandross. What a voice that guy had! Amazing. Yeah. That killed the conversation. Anyway, moving on.
Silence and just.
I met the guy that owned the jewelry store that I work. He owned some horses with David Cassidy, and so I met David Cassidy, and he was pretty cool. The Partridge, come on, be happy, and they drove around a colorful bus. He used to sing all the songs and stuff. And,
but we did get the Partridge Family, but we knew the Cassidys more for being the Cassidys and the songs that they did.
David Cassidy was like the biggest teen idol.
Yeah, and the Osmonds, Donny Osmond.
What's that?
Yeah, Donny Osmond as well, and Jimmy, little Jimmy. Yeah. Did you not have little Jimmy?
Do you guys know Wynton Marsalis? He's a trumpeter.
Of course. Dude, that was the only instrument I learned to play when I was in school was the trumpet. Yes, Cyborg played the trumpet. Yeah. And those are guys that I idolize. And Dizzy Gillespie, I used to puff my cheeks, and the band teacher would take a pencil and poke my cheeks because he's like, I don't want you blowing your cheeks. You shouldn't have to do that. But I wanted to blow.
Like Dizzy.
Just stop. Please just stop.
Stop it, Aaron. You're not clipping. You're not clipping that, my friend.
Aaron, come on.
It's not. I have spawned the devil's child in Aaron.
He's not listening. Did you watch me stream. I played Postal 4 and he's in the background yelling at me to shoot somebody's head off and kick it down the street like a soccer ball.
Here we go.
That
Here we
is
go.
the least of my-
Here we go, Ray. We got the recipe. A Cuban sandwich is basically pork and ham with pickles, mustard, Swiss cheese on a long bun pressed flat in a hot press. I have to say that sounds flipping delicious.
So it's basically spam, pork and ham. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Spam.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
spam
it is.
butty.
Yeah.
It's a
But-
spam butty.
Pickles, I love pickles. Mustard's lovely. Swiss cheese. I'm up for this.
My grandma worked
I
at a pickle
know.
factory in Mount Olive, North Carolina. We
She
actually
did-
got my grandmother, yes, may she rest in
Did you just say she died in a pickle factory?
No, she,
What did you
I
say?
said my grandmother worked in a pickle.
I guess she really was in a pickle.
What a pickle jar fell on my grandmother and she
She was
died.
quite the pickle there.
I'm sorry,
He's
Ray.
being preserved in one of those big pickle juice vats.
Just for a second.
Yeah, that was pure pickle.
Every year we pop out and see Gran.
Oh,
We
my grandmother worked at Mount Olive Pickles, which is in Mount Olive, North Carolina. All my relatives are there. You got
we lost him for a minute. Right, we need literally every show possible because I'm seeing why Lee brings him on all of his shows. The comments are.
I did not say my grandmother died in a pickle factory.
How did you go from I really wanted to blow to my grandmother?
It was when Jackson she was preserved. Oh dear. Oh, woof, that cleared out the cobwebs for Halloween. Woof.
I've got stream in 10 minutes.
What was that worst kind of streams gonna be able
Every
to
time I went to go visit my grandmother, she says, "Guess what I got for you?
Jack.
A pickle." Yes, I got you a pickle.
Oh wow.
All the cabinets were filled with relish. You know, she
Want
had
any snacks? I don't know, Grandma. Is it a pickle?
That was
Oh,
hilarious.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
Guess what?
Wait.
Bet used to stuff in his pants when he went to high school. A pickle.
Yeah, that would have been rancid at the end of the day, wouldn't it? Wow. What is that smell? Oh, it's only Aaron. Don't worry about it. It's time. It's time to call it a day, guys, because we young Lee has got some streaming to be doing. And we've had a good show. It's a good, fun show. Let me just quickly run around from the top. We know what you're about to do, Lee, but tell us more so that we know where to go next.
You can catch me in 10 minutes, but I do want to talk about this.
Oh. Aha! Get Ray to 1K.
If you haven't already, please head over there and subscribe. It's not me, but we're going to get him there to 1K, and he's going to get there to 1K. Why this man hasn't got 1,000 subscribers is beyond me. He's the most wonderful person in this community.
Yeah, they don't like you, but
if you
they can still subscribe to you, mate. Can they? What's wrong with them?
If you see any of my tweets with hashtag Get Ray to 1K, share it. You get it out there. Share his channel.
It's a travesty.
Anything you can. It's a travesty. Why he's not?
Yeah, it's a travesty.
With these kind of comments, he should easily be at 1,000 with those comments. That's like comedy gold.
Yeah, and certified doctor. He's absolutely right. He deserves it. He deserves it. He puts a lot of hours in helping people like me and Aaron and loads of other guys doing shows. And that's the trouble.
And you know, that picture was very easy to find, by the way. I can't get out of your way.
How did you get that picture, man?
Literally, just Google Ray Sherrard, and boom, there you
Poppy
go.
Pops.
Up your pop.
Yeah. There you are. You
said.
see?
Be careful
Yeah.
what you search. You might get something boom.
Didn't find any Cuban sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. And Ray, what are you doing next? Anything more today?
Well,
or?
I'm going to be on Cloud Nation TV with Bet, Dr. Spaceman, and
I promise I'll be
JB's on
behave
break.
this time.
Yeah, whatever. And then, guys, Friday tomorrow, it is Far Cry Friday. Well, I stream right now the best damn game on Stadia. Far Cry 6.
While he's
I'll be
eating a Cuban
streaming that
sandwich.
10 o'clock Pacific time. and that's what I'm doing. And I got Retro Rewind Sunday. We got 2 wonderful guests, and that's with Stadia Pro Gaming, Jeff, myself, and Ryzak.
Awesome. Have you finished? Jesus Christ.
Excuse me, every
Oh,
show I hear
I
him.
just-
All right, it's my spotlight. Someone talk. All right. Thank you.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Give him the boot.
Jack, when do you do that amazing show with MM2K?
Yeah, so I actually have more going on this week than most weeks. So on Sunday, yeah, we're doing the numbers show with MM2K Sunday noon Pacific. That's 8 p.m. in London. And then this Saturday, I'm also excited that I'm going to be part of the every Saturday of October Caring from the Clouds.
Yes, John
program.
Scar's initiative. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
think
awesome.
me
What
and
are you
my-
planning on doing?
I think me and my 5-year-old are going to be doing some kids games. We're going to let
Oh,
him help
bless.
commentate.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Yes,
So it'd be
yeah,
a bit of
yes,
Paw
yeah.
Patrol and Adam's Family and all that stuff. That would
yeah,
be amazing.
yeah. So, some of that he might be building a level of Rock of Ages for,
Ah.
for people to try at the end.
So which day and what time? Saturday?
I believe I'm Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, so it's probably like 2 a.m. your time.
Yeah. I might have to. I'll watch the pre-record or the post-record. I'll be
Yeah,
definitely picking that.
sounds
Oh, well,
good.
good luck with that. That's awesome. Thank you. Squid, the man with the
Hey.
voice. So what have you got going down, my friend? What are you streaming these days, and when are you doing it next?
There is a lot of stuff. Briefly,
We haven't got long because Lee's supposed to be doing his show in 5 minutes.
Yeah, just got
He's-
Little
he's-
Nightmares
he's-
1 and 2 coming up that we're gonna stream as well.
Which
as,
one? Sorry, Destiny.
Destiny 2,
Yep.
and then Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and then we
Uh-huh.
also have the Zombie Army 4, and then there was one other one I forgot. But basically, you guys can check me out streaming. I do Tuesdays, my show, and then on Wednesdays, SBCN show. You can check me out, youtube.com/Grim Acid. That'll be the name for it, so you can find me. But
And
appreciate you for having
On
me.
Twitter, have you got the link for your YouTube show on your Twitter?
Yeah, I got it
Yeah,
on my Twitter
cool.
there.
And your Twitter is at
Squid's
Squid-
Gaming.
Squid with
Squid with
more
three
than one.
Zs gaming.
3 Zs. That's the one. Brilliant stuff. Check this
Yes.
man out because I tell you what I do. Little little confession. I listen to it as I'm going to sleep. I'm back in my game of cricket. Oh yes, another wicket. I love it. Aaron on a G string. What have you got coming up? There's a little bit of classical
definitely not
music there.
I'm going to be streaming some Crisis. One, probably the Crisis trilogy, possibly the second and third. I don't know. I've lost track with all of those. And then I keep wanting to do other games, but I keep getting sucked back into Far Cry 6, so I'll probably do that as well. So I don't know how many shows I'll end up doing tomorrow. I don't think I'll be streaming anymore today, except I'll be on Cloud Nation TV, where we'll be discussing all the cloud gaming news.
What
for the
time?
week.
What time is Cloud Nation?
7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so I don't know what that is. I don't know.
What
the
is
hours.
it in our language, Ray?
Ray, figure it out. Come on.
You guys gonna be asleep.
What time is it in your
1
world?
a.m. I think.
Is it
About one, you're gonna be one. It's about 1
so
a.m.
much decent stuff goes on when I'm in the land of Nod? This is the this is the struggle.
Because I guess we could talk to Dr. Spaceman about pushing it earlier. I've thought about that, but then we got to get Ray to break away from his Cuban subs and all of this
me
stuff.
nuts.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I know it's difficult to get the times right and stuff, but it's all good because we can watch it after, which is what I do. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm like me, Rokk Reveals. I'm on CGX this Saturday, flying the Stadia flag. So
I'm hoping it'll be as fun as today's show.
if
you don't
you know me, I did warn them. I did say.
You rep Stadia for us, Rock.
Yeah.
I did say, do you really want me on your show, Ace? Because this is what you get.
I still can't get past with Lee. It's sitting there next to Ray. He's got
That's a
Ray on both sides.
massive Ray, isn't it? As well. Look at him.
A little thinner in that picture too, man.
He's both sides.
So
feel better.
funny. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a cracking show. I've really enjoyed tonight. It's nothing better than getting the old endorphins going with a bit of laughter and a bit of humor at the end of the day. Coming up to the end of the week. Chat, thank you as well. You have been amazing and you've made me chuckle. Thank you so much. Say goodbye, guys. I'm going to play us out with some dancing
Bye,
babies.
guys.
Bye.
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 The dancing babies.